My dear friends, my future communication champions, today I'm going to share something that will completely change how people see you, respond to you, and remember you. Imagine walking into any room and instantly having people drawn to you, wanting to listen to you, wanting to know more about you. Sounds like magic, right? Well, today I'm going to reveal this magic to you. Let me share something personal with you, my champions. You know, there was a time when I was terrified of social situations 3. Just like many of you might feel sometimes, sweaty palms, racing heart, that knot in your stomach when you have to talk to someone new. But what I discovered, and what our communication master Lael Lowndes reveals, is that communication success isn't about being born special. It's about knowing the right techniques. My dear friends, here's a powerful truth that changed my life. 60% of people will approach you if you simply smile the right way. 1. Yes, you heard that right. But not just any smile. There's a special technique called the flooding smile that can transform how people respond to you. Let me teach you this simple but powerful technique. Instead of smiling immediately when you see someone, look at their face for a second, pause, and then let your smile grow naturally. It's like saying, I'm smiling because I'm genuinely happy to see you, not just because I smile at everyone. Think about this, my future champions. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to command attention effortlessly? Maybe it's your successful colleague or that friend who always seems to make friends easily. Well, here's the exciting part. They're not doing anything you can't learn. 3. They've just mastered what I call the invisible bridges of communication, those subtle signals that make people trust and like you instantly. My friends, let me share something fascinating about social abilities. You see, just like some children might have trouble in school because of a learning challenge, many adults struggle socially because no one ever taught them the subtle rules of communication too. It's like trying to play chess without knowing how the pieces move. But today, that changes for you. Here's a powerful secret, my dear champions. Social disabilities are often invisible too. You might be incredibly smart, talented and hardworking, but still feel like there's a glass ceiling stopping you from reaching the next level. Today, we're going to break through that ceiling together. Let me tell you about something we all face, the fear of small talk. Did you know that even world-famous performers like Pablo Casals and Neil Diamond face stage fright? Even after performing for 40 years, Neil Diamond needs his lyrics on a teleprompter. Why am I telling you this? Because I want you to understand that feeling nervous is normal. Even the experts feel it. The difference is they have techniques to handle it. My dear friends, here's the most exciting part. Your brain is actually designed to help you succeed socially. Scientists have discovered that when you believe you have specific techniques to fall back on, your brain actually creates its own confidence-boosting chemicals. Isn't that amazing? It's like having a natural confidence booster built right into your mind. Here's a practical technique you can start using today, my champions. When you meet someone new, imagine they're an old friend you haven't seen in years. This simple mind trick changes everything. Your body language, your facial expressions, your tone of voice, all automatically adjust to make the other person feel comfortable and welcomed. My future champions, understand this. Every expert communicator was once a beginner. Every person who now moves confidently through social situations once felt exactly like you might feel now. The difference is they learned the rules, practiced the techniques, and most importantly, they didn't give up. Remember, my dear friends, communication isn't about being perfect. It's about being authentic and making real connections. These techniques aren't masks to hide behind. They're tools to let your true self shine through more effectively. My dear champions, now that we understand why these communication techniques are so powerful, let's dive into the exact methods that will transform how people respond to you. Remember, these aren't just tricks. They're tools to help your true self shine through more brilliantly. Let me share something incredible with you, my friends. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to make everyone feel like the most important person in the room? 4. I'm going to teach you exactly how they do this. It's not about being fake. It's about showing genuine interest in a way that others can feel. The power of active listening. My dear friends, here's a powerful truth that changed my life. When someone is sharing something personal or important, our natural instinct is to say, "Me too," and share our similar experience. 4. But let me tell you why this can actually hurt your connections. Think about a time when you were sharing something emotional and someone immediately jumped in with their story. How did it make you feel? Did you feel truly heard? Here's the golden technique, my champions. When someone is sharing, resist the urge to share your story immediately. Instead, give them what I call the spotlight moment. Let them shine. Show them you're truly listening. Your story can wait. This simple shift will make people feel so valued that they'll naturally want to hear your perspective later. The magic of body language. My future champions, let me share something fascinating about the Japanese railway system. 1. Train conductors use a technique called pointing and calling that reduces mistakes by 85%. They point at what they're checking and say it out loud. Why am I telling you this? Because awareness is the first step to mastery. Just like these conductors, we need to become aware of our communication signals. Try this powerful exercise, my friends. The next time you're in a conversation, use what I call the triple connection technique. Face the person fully with your body. Maintain gentle eye contact. Use small nods to show you're following along. Simple, right? But the impact is incredible. The art of conversation. My dear champions, have you ever been in a conversation that felt like hard work, where you're struggling to think of what to say next? Let me share a secret technique that master communicators use too. It's called encore. When you're in a group and someone tells a story, simply say, "John, I bet everyone would love to hear about the time you," and mention a story they've told you before. This does two magical things. It makes the person feel valued, and it keeps the conversation flowing naturally. Here's something powerful, my friends. Instead of asking, "What do you do?" which can feel like an interview, ask, "How do you spend most of your time?" 8. Notice the difference. The second question opens the door for a more interesting personal response. Building lasting connections. My dear champions, let me share a technique that might surprise you. When you meet someone important to you, write down key details about your conversation immediately after 7. Their children's names, their interests, their challenges. This isn't being calculating, it's showing that you care enough to remember what matters to them. Professional power moves. For my future leaders, here's a game-changing insight. In professional settings, most people focus on what they're saying, but master communicators focus on how others are receiving their message. 3. Before any important conversation, ask yourself, what does this person need to hear to feel understood and valued? The charisma secret. My dear friends, here's something that changed everything for me. True charisma isn't about being the most outgoing or entertaining person in the room. It's about making others feel seen, heard, and valued. When you master this, people won't just remember what you said, they'll remember how you made them feel. My dear champions, we've reached the most powerful part of our journey together. Now that you understand the foundations and core techniques, let's explore how to handle those challenging moments that separate good communicators from true masters. The power of recovery. My friends, let me share something deeply personal. Even communication experts sometimes say the wrong thing or face awkward moments. But here's the difference. They know how to recover gracefully. Remember this powerful truth. It's not about never making mistakes. It's about handling them with elegance. Here's a master technique I call the graceful pivot. When you realize you've said something that didn't land well, simply say, "Let me rephrase that to better express what I mean." This shows both confidence and sensitivity, a powerful combination. Handling difficult conversations. My dear champions, have you ever needed to deliver bad news or handle a tense situation? Here's a powerful framework I call the AAA. Acknowledge their perspective first. Address the core issue clearly. Advance toward a solution together. But here's the secret sauce. Timing is everything. Before launching into any important conversation, always ask, "Is this a good time to talk?" This simple question shows respect and increases the likelihood of a positive outcome. The art of professional presence. Listen carefully, my future leaders. In professional settings, every interaction is an opportunity to build your personal brand. Here's something powerful. When you enter a room, take 2 seconds longer than you normally would to look at each person you greet. This extended connection technique makes people feel truly seen and valued. Mastering group dynamics. My dear friends, one of the most challenging situations is managing group conversations. Here's a technique I call the conductor's method. Notice who hasn't spoken. Create openings for quieter members. Gracefully redirect those who dominate, weave different perspectives together. Remember this, a true communication master doesn't just speak well, they orchestrate great conversations. The ultimate secret. My champions, here's something profound that most people never realize. The goal isn't to be the most interesting person in the room, it's to be the most interested. When you master this shift in perspective, something magical happens. People don't just want to talk to you, they want to be around you. Long-term success strategies. Here's your blueprint for continued growth, my dear friends. Practice one new technique each week. Keep a communication victory journal. Learn from every interaction. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small it is. Remember, my champions, these aren't just techniques, they're tools for transformation. Every time you use them, you're not just improving your communication, you're building a better version of yourself. Also, friends, don't forget to like the video and share with your friends that need it, and also subscribe to Read and Learn English for more books, summaries to transform your life.